Our epistle reading for April the 3rd, 2022, comes from Paul's letter to the Philippians, chapter 3, starting in the middle of verse 4 to 14. If anyone else has reasons to be confident in the flesh, I have more. Paul has obviously received word from the Philippians that there are preachers that are coming around who are talking about Paul. You know, that persecutor of the church. How could he possibly know anything about Jesus? He wasn't one of the 12. And what are his credentials anyway? He's not even a Jew from Israel. He was born in Tarsus of Greece. This Greek who says he's a Jew, he's not a Jew. He doesn't know what he's saying. If you really want to follow Jesus, you need to obey the Jewish laws. It's by our obedience to the covenant, not our faith, that we are saved. These are the words that are starting to penetrate into the church of Philippians. So Paul writes this letter, rejecting those claims and lifting up Jesus as the only way and the only one who can and does save us. So the first thing he does is he addresses the fact that, hey, I was circumcised on the 8th day. I'm a member of the people of Israel from the tribe of Benjamin. Now remember, from Benjamin, David, a Hebrew of Hebrews, as of the law, a Pharisee, as to zeal, a persecutor of the church. In other words, if you are questioning how Jewish I am, let me just lay out to you that I have every reason to proclaim righteousness according to the law, both through inheritance and observance. If that's what guarantees salvation, I am saved. I don't need Jesus. But I count all of that loss because it is not through works. It is not through inheritance. It is not because my great-grandfather and my grandfather and my father before me have all been faithful Jewish followers. It's not because I grew up in the church or attended every Sunday. None of that guarantees my place with my Lord and my God. The only thing that opens up that door for me is Jesus' righteousness. I'm pressing onward. I'm pressing forward. I'm leaving that behind. I'm leaving those old ideas behind. And I'm pressing forward because Jesus is going forward. He'll go over and he'll say, I want to know Christ and the power of the resurrection. He wants to be raised from his old self and find new life in Christ. Not that I've already attained this goal, but I press on to make it my own because Christ has made me his own. I am pressing on because Jesus leads me forward. I am moving on because Jesus calls me on. I am not trying to achieve some self-righteousness, but rather I am following the way. Now think about this. If you're over there by yourself and somebody says, hey, let's go do this. You weigh, you calculate, you think about the time spent, what else you could be doing, and you try to make a decision whether you're going to follow them or whether you're going to stay where you are. But if you're a member of a family, and the entire family that you are with packs up and says, we're moving, you pack up and you move, or you're left behind. For Paul, being accepted by Jesus, being adopted into the family of God, means he's no longer a free agent. He's no longer a self-sufficient individual, which was never, in fact, self-sufficient, but rather he has become a member of a family led by Jesus, so that when Jesus leaves, he goes. If Jesus leads through the valley of the shadow of death, if Jesus leads through the wilderness, he presses on. Not to obtain some worldly prize or goal, but his goal is Christ. His goal is to be with him, to walk with him, to stay with him. He presses on toward that goal, who is Jesus, the perfecter of our faith. For the destination is God. The destination is a fully restored relationship where all is very good. We are in peace and unity with one another because we are in Christ. We are in God. The ways of the world, the resume he had, the heritage and privilege he was born with, he cast them all aside. Because now he belongs to Jesus. And when the Father says it's time to leave, you leave. And when the Father says it's time to stay, you stay. And no matter how hard it is, you press on. Not through your strength, but through the strength of the one who's called you.